Hi there, so it is 29th of December 2020 and the drone and model aircraft codes are changing, and the big question is Mavic Mini, Mavic Mini 2, do you need to take this test and get a flyer ID, or can you get away with just having an operator ID? So this is my story and this is what I've done so far today. So as you can see here on the website, it keeps saying you must have a flyer ID, must have an operator ID. Or do you? Well, let's scroll down, because on the bottom here of this on the website, on the register-drones.caa.co.uk website, we can see the nice graphics of the class marks. So if you're a Mini user, I've got a Mini 2 now, bought it for myself for Christmas. A C0, it's not a toy, but it does have a camera. Flyer ID required? No, you don't need one. That's the test part. Okay. Operator ID? Yes, it says you do need one. So just to clarify, if you scroll down here, it then also says based on this, not on the C0s, but on the weight, so below 250 grams, which we are, not a toy, and yes, we know we do have cameras on our drones. Again, flyer ID, no. Operator ID, yes. But the funny thing is the operator ID is still the £9 that you need to pay, which covers you for 1 year, whereas the flyer ID, which it says you don't require, is free, and that's where you have to do the test. The big problem on this website of the registered-drones.caa website is that it sort of contradicts itself a lot. It keeps saying that you need a flyer ID. If you're going to fly, you need to pass the theory test and get a flyer ID. But as we just saw on the other screen, it says you don't need a flyer ID for a Mavic Mini or a Mini 2. So what did I do? Well, I just went in, and as you can see here on this screen here, the operator ID is £9 and it lasts for 1 year. But your flyer ID, which it says you don't need, is free, but it lasts for 5 years. Now that's the one with the test. So what I've done is I've gone in, and I've also gone in and submitted my details, my name, my address, my email address, and paid my £9 via my credit card, and it then sent me my operator ID, which is obviously valid for 1 year. I haven't gone for the flyer ID, but I can do that afterwards if I need to. But by the looks of it, you don't need to do that. Now what I have done though is I've emailed, I've contacted the CAA about this and asked them for sure. Funnily enough though, it then says that when you get a reply that the email is not going to be picked up until 4th of January. Well, that's a lot of good if people are then getting worried and want to register their drones and fly them from the 1st of January. So I won't get a reply for a number of days on that one. So when you get sent your operator ID, I've basically used a Dymo label, handheld label writer, to print out the number, which was quite lengthy, I must admit, because I thought, well, I might as well put it on as a kind of a waterproof sticky label that comes out of these. But if you need to print yours out and you haven't got a Dymo label printer, handheld label printer, then you can buy them, these sticky labels from eBay, and I've seen hundreds of listings for stickers for model aircraft and drones and things on there, and there's a link to that in the description below if you want to search for that on eBay and buy them through eBay. But if not, I'm sure you could use other things to print them on, such as I don't know, just print them out and you stick it on with sellotape if you don't want it too waterproof. But then again, are you going to be flying in the wet? Probably not. Or it might get damp. As long as I suppose the number doesn't rub off, it'll probably be okay. So anyway, that's what I've done today anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, you don't need to take a test or have the flyer ID if you've got a Mini or a Mini 2. But we'll see what the CAA say, because it just seems really confusing at the moment. But so far I've paid my £9 and I've got my operator ID. and I'm going to carry on like that at the moment, and if it changes then I will sit that test, but I will let you know. Great. Thanks for watching, and I will speak to you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.